Hi everyone, welcome back to Chem Help ASAP. In this video, we are going to be talking about data plots. We will cover column plots, line plots, and scatter plots. Let's go.
The first data plot that we are going to talk about is a bar graph, also sometimes called a column graph. Before we can make a plot, we need to have data. So you can see my data table up here. I have recorded the color of shirt worn by a number of students. I have two variables. I have the color of the shirt and the number of students. So before I make my bar graph, the first thing I must do is to identify the independent and the dependent variable. Now, a variable is just something that can change. So you can see both of these are variables. The color of the shirt can change, and the number of students is also something that can change. My independent variable sounds just like what it should be. It is not dependent on another variable. My dependent variable is dependent on my independent variable. In this case, the number of students is dependent on the color of their shirt. So my shirt color is my independent variable and my number of students is my dependent variable. Let's get the plot up. Here we go. I have plotted my independent variable on the x-axis and my dependent variable on the y-axis. Bar graphs are very handy for comparisons. So you can quickly look at my bar graph and see that green is the most popular color for a shirt. Or perhaps that having a striped shirt is the least popular. One other thing I do want to point out in this plot is that it has a title. Make sure that you put a title on all your plots so that your readers know what you are plotting. Let's next talk about a line graph. Here is a line graph that shows the price of wheat over the course of a year. My price is dependent on what month it is. It is very common to have time be your independent variable and plotted along the x-axis. Line graphs are helpful to see trends. So a trend is a general direction that the data is moving. Let's look at a plot of the price of wheat, but this time with a trend line. Here we go. You can see I have added my trend line in green. The trend for the price of wheat for this year is that it is increasing. Now comparing these two plots, the trend is maybe not so obvious in the top plot, which is why it is helpful to add a trend line. Let's take a look at a scatter plot. Scatter plots are really helpful when you have a lot of data. So this plot shows the amount of sunlight in minutes and the temperature in Celsius. Again, notice time is my independent variable while temperature is my dependent variable. Usually when you have a large data set, you're also looking for trends. So let's add a trend line to this plot. Here we go, right here. You can see my trend is increasing. Scatter plots also tend to have noise in the data. Noisy data tends to have a lot of variability. So you can see in this plot here, while our trend line runs this way, we have data points that are well above the trend line and well below the trend line. That is an indication that your data has noise. Ideally, your data set would have little to no noise, but most real data will include at least a small amount of noise or a small amount of variability.
I hope you found this video helpful, and hopefully the next time you see a data plot in a newspaper or online, you understand it a little better. Thanks so much for watching.